Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Glicjam from CZT Yasmina Lena. All right, and I hope I pronounced all of that right. Okay, beautiful tangle. Kind of a standalone, or I mean, it's an organic, so you could. There's so many things that you could do with this. And let me mention this right up front because I usually wait till the end, and if you skip over the end, then you don't know. um, we had this as our focus for my Tangle Time sessions. And this week, we had to shift things a little bit in the schedule. So we did it both Thursday and Friday. The sessions got split. So if you want to take a look at what we did and the work, just gorgeous, gorgeous work, neat ideas for how to use this tangle, um, go to my website. The link is in the description, but it's tangleaddicts.com, and subscribe to my blog there because when I get it all done and send it out, it's a recap of the Tangle Time, and so I have links. I have the step outs, links to this video as well as the replays of the classes, both sessions, and screenshots and photos. It takes me a little bit to usually collect as many photos as I can from our private Facebook group. And by the way, if you happen to be on Facebook and want to hang out with some amazing tanglers, come and join us. That link is there in the description as well. So, and other links. So ways to connect with me. So if you enjoy this, and I hope you do, connect. And if you want to come and be a part of the classes that we do, the Tangle Time is free. I do it every week. Usually on Thursday. Every once in a great while we have a schedule change, but usually it's on Thursday, and like I said, it's free. So come and join us. We have a lot of fun. All right, so this one starts off with kind of a straight line. Oh, actually, that was the reason I went there. On my version of the step outs, because I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the tangle, I separated out Yasmina's step 1 and 2 just because I needed to for me. So what I did, and if you can do this all in one stroke, more power to you. Go for it. Okay, so mine is, so I'm going to do like a straight line into a curlicue. I'm turning my towel to do because we're going to do them kind of back to back like this. And for whatever reason, that one is smaller than this one, although this could probably curl that so it matches a little bit. All right. And then, whichever side works better for you, using like the take off and land concept, I'm going to trace a little bit over this and then come around. This is kind of like the Tangle Hollis or even Muka, where you could do that in one stroke. It's just that because we're coming up like this and then coming around and doing the other one, I just felt the need to do it in 2 steps. All right, so then we have this. Next, we're just going to draw a line, and it's kind of going to go through, but actually behind these. So this is a technique if you're new to Zentangle. This is a technique called hollabow. It's also a tangle. It's also the last name of of the person that created it, who happens to be daughter of Maria. So, all right, that's Molly Hollabow. Okay, so I'm going to draw this line, and so I'm not going to go over. So when I come to another line, I pick up my pen, travel it over, put it down on the other side, and continue it on. Same thing here. So like that. So we're drawing it behind. Then, and I'm going to do it this way. It's always a great idea, because you plant your hand and then use the heel of your hand to make this curve. I don't know, I can't quite get the whole thing in with this, but it at least sets me up for more success than not. So we're going to put a big curve line like so. And then we're gonna do seed shapes. So I like to start. I know in my actually in both step outs, both versions, it starts with three. So I start with the one in the middle first, just because. So a seed shape is, as you saw, a curved line going one direction, curved line going the opposite direction, meeting at both ends. And then on the side, it's kind of almost like maybe a half seed or something. But I'm going to trace over this a little bit and just have it kind of come off like that and just curve into the corner like so. Because you can imagine that the one end is like here. So if you were, say, coming from here, you would curve it like that. Okay? Then, in this little crevice here, so we're going to divide this area with another seed shape. And then this one. And as you can see, I'm kind of tracing over just to get it to tuck in there snugly, tracing over a little bit of this side and a little bit of that. And then two more. This time, I'm going to, because I usually start it this way for whatever reason. It's just how I work. But for these ones, because they're going to kind of tuck behind here, again, sort of using the halibut concept. So I'm going to start from the top, though, and do my curve line. It's kind of like as if it's landing down here, but then just stop there. And then this one, same idea. And so all of those spaces, that's what we're doing. All right. Like that. And now, it's funny because the next, well, I'll do this in the order that she has it. Because really, the next steps are kind of in the decorating phase. So you don't have to do these next ones if you have another idea that you want to do. But I really like how she has it, and I always like to stay true to the step out so that way it makes sense. Um, okay, and that is so in these spaces we're going to essentially aura this line, but I'm going to use a real light touch with the pen and just work my way down like that. Now, this we are essentially, it kind of looks like we're hollowing it, but that's just, to me, it's like it still works. It's effective to just do each section at a time. And two, if you kind of have a certain distance that you um, keep in between these, it helps with that illusion. So that way you're not doing this and then I'm going here and going all the way around and then and continuing to do that. You can do that if you like. And sometimes I've had tangles where where you do really kind of need to do that, but this one, it doesn't seem to be the case. And some of those, some of that beginning line is not as curved as I would hope, but it's still okay. Because in that little section, and then when you're done with it, in that little section, it's like, well, that it kind of looks straight. It's not necessarily curvy looking, but as you can see, it in the end, it doesn't really matter. All right, then more on the decorating. So she has us using some hash marks, and that is, so I'm just going to come right out from the base here and just draw some lines. It doesn't matter. I mean, do it to your taste. And then, so both sides like that. I mean, you can have, sometimes I like to have one a little bit longer, but like that. And then even in this, where technically the end of it would be down here, but it's like shading with the pen is what it is. I just don't maybe put so much in those ones. And I love the look of this. To me, it has like an old worldy kind of a vintage, wood cut type of look when we do this. It's just so neat. And what a difference. What a difference. All right. Then, and well, I'm not going to look back. Uh, at some point, I don't know if I'm not sure where she put in uh, auraing around the whole thing. And it's one of those where you don't have to if you don't want to. It does create a nice look, though. So I put it towards the end of my step out. It's one of those things that you could do that at really at any point if if you're wanting to add it in. Actually, let's do. And this, same thing using the hollow bow technique to draw behind. Working to keep the same distance sometimes, though. All right. And there we have it. And you could also, well, yeah, there's so much you can do. I know in my step I added some little, like little hash marks on one side of, of the, what looks like, we'll call it the stem. But that's, completely up to you. And again, tons of ways to decorate it, tons of ways to use it. It is just really lovely. Okay, so shading. Here is an idea. And actually, this kind of kills two birds with one stone, sort of. I'm just going to put some graphite in this top. Bit here. And there it is. And so when I bring it down, it's going to bring it into those seed shapes. But it's fine because we kind of want it to a little bit. But then you could always bring it out a little bit more and put some graphite in those seed shapes if you want to. Oh, see, look at how neat that looks, just like that. But then it does feel like the top part needs something else too, doesn't it? Oh, and let's see. Well, see, there's several things that one could do. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find my graphic one. And we can just fill it in. And we'll add some shine to it. Where do I want the shine? Maybe at the top. You know what? Here's what I'm having some thoughts here. Obviously, because that's when I hesitate. Maybe we'll try 3. I can always color over it. Okay. So very carefully. Because sometimes it's nice to just have some contrast. But you could also fill that in if you wanted to with, say, orbs or lines. And we had a couple that did that, did orbs, did like did lines and filled in every other one, and that looks neat. All right, and then this is like, okay, then this is the part to be really careful. Fill in a little extra with the 01, just because I don't want to go over something that I don't want to go over. And actually, as I'm doing it, I'm thinking, oh gosh, because as it left some streaks, I thought, oh, that kind of looks neat too. And I want to neaten this up. That got a little lumpy. And there. See, if you do this and you just trace over the edge a little bit, then it kind of takes care of whatever lumps might, little bumps that might have happened. And no one's the wiser. It's our secret. Let's see. Oh, that looks kind of neat with 3 of them there. I wasn't sure, and that's why it's like you could, especially something like this where you can fill in, err on the side of well, I'll do more than I think, and it looks neat. I like it. Woo. All right, but we do need to have some graphite down here. And my personal rule of thumb is, especially if something is going over, if something is tucked under, maybe that's a better way to say it. We're going to put graphite around that, so that way it looks like it's tucked. We don't, in Zentangle, we don't, generally worry about light source and all of that kind of thing. It's more, when you're doing something like this where it's like, well, it's tucked under, and you think about shadow, it's like you think about it, but we don't worry about it so much. And look at how that pops. Wow. These do need a little bit more. And with these, if you want them to look a little bendy, this is my technical term, you have to just make sure that you leave some of the original tile color there. So that way you have, dark on both sides. Yeah, like that. And because this one is tucked under here, you could put a little bit more right where that tucks. It just really brings your work to life. And I did put that line there. I'm going to just put some graphite there. Let's travel it around. And this is one of those, I don't want to bring it out too much because it will just fill it in gray, but I want to have that gradient. And look at how it's curving that. And, this side, we'll just do from, say, here. If I had made that bigger, I could probably put the graphite on both sides. But I didn't. So, it's like, it's okay. It looks good. It went up a little too far with that. I just want to smooth it out. Yeah. Oh, that just looks cool. It really looks cool. So, again, we had a lot of fun with this. These are not finished, but kind of. So, this was one I did on a Zendala. Like I said, I have more fun to have with it, but I got it done that far. And just, it is a neat one to add color if you wish. Also did it on black. And added some, my intention down here was to add some flux, and I did get that on this one. And just had fun. Was inspired by one of my fellow Tangle addicts in the aura, as you can see. Had these other ones connecting via the aura, and that's what we do. It's called R&D, rip off and duplicate. So we do that all the time. That's the beauty of the screen share and seeing what everybody did, because you get brilliant ideas. So lots of fun. Neat Tangle. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click like, and if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. So feel free to do all of that. Share it, leave comments, all of those actions. Any and all, I should say. I appreciate greatly, because it really helps, with the algorithm stuff and getting the word out about my channel. So, and I appreciate that. I already mentioned the description section. So check that out for more information and ways to connect, things like that. Do join us. So if you want to have fun with a tangle, this is kind of what we do. And we just take a tangle and play with it. And whatever you want to do, you work on whatever you want with whatever you want. And we just have a really good time. And it's just exploring it. Some people will work in a sketchbook, and I've seen some that seem to maybe do their own step out because that's the way they learn or they incorporate tangles in their head. And it's whatever you want to do. It's all good. So, like I said, we have fun. Come join us on Thursdays. The link is on my website for classes, as well as ways to follow me, different places that I post the classes. So I'm still not good at putting them out on a blog post. I should, but check that out for information. If you have questions, of course, you can contact me or leave a comment. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.